Rock 95. Good morning. It is Spence, right about 10 o'clock and perfect timing. You are prompt. We're talking with Stephanie. I'm going to try the last name. Flozinski.
Close enough.
Was that?
It was pretty good.
Exactly. I screwed it up a little bit.
A little bit, but you're good. It's okay.
She is the lead singer and also the bass player for Hearts and Hand Grenades. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to talk with you. And we'll add, I believe, your guitar player joining us as well here this morning.
Hey.
See if I can
there he is.
Look better. No, that's going to look worse. Hold on. That's okay. I guess we'll have to do
All right. I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Mike, how are you?
All right. I can hear you now.
Well, good morning. Pleasure to talk with you guys. Now, tell me, maybe give me a little back history about Hearts and Hand Grenades and how this thing got put together.
Ooh, Mike, that's a good story for you. You take it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, a couple years ago, 2019 in March, we did a telethon at a casino, and the Goo Goo Dolls happened to be right after us. They only gave us a couple of songs. We were just doing a couple cover songs. That was it. Under a different band name entirely. Hearts and Hand Grenades didn't exist at this time. And we played our stuff, and Robbie from the Goo Goo Dolls listened in, and we finished playing our set, and then they got up there, played theirs. We watched them play. Everything was cool. We went downstairs to the bar, drink some beers, because that's what we do. And after the Goo Goo Dolls finished up, Robbie came down the escalator and saw us standing at the bar, and then came over and said, hey guys, that was awesome. He's like, where do you do your recording and all this? We're like, hey man, we don't record anywhere. We don't even have any originals. We're just a cover band, and he insisted that we said no. He goes, I'm gonna get a hold of you guys tonight and give you a tour of my studio. I want you to come in, see if you like it, and come up with some originals and see if it's something you guys can do. And he ended up calling us, and then it worked out pretty good. We liked what we saw, and so then we got to work making some original music, and it worked out pretty well.
Well, yeah, you guys have been busy putting out 2 albums in the last year or so. Good Lord, that's aggressive, Stephanie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we had been working on the first album for obviously a while, and then with COVID, there really wasn't much else to do except just keep working on songs. So we released the first album. We didn't stop working on the songs that, we knew were going to be the second album. So we just kept cultivating those. And then we had the decision to make on if we wanted to push an end of the year release or if we wanted to wait. And I think, what was it, Mike? The record label said if we waited, the release would have been closer to the summer or something like that.
Yeah.
So we just kind of said, nah, let's just do it. It was ready to go, and we didn't want to sit on it any longer. So you got 2 in 1 year.
That's awesome. And the latest one, Between the Lines, was just released. Was that in November?
Yes. Yep.
Well, tell me about the recording of that, and matter of fact, we'll play one of the songs. We'll do Bad Medicine here in just a bit, but tell me about putting that thing together. And I like the collection of songs because they're you can tell it's you guys, it's Hearts and Hand Grenades, but it's got a little twist. Some of them, that first track, Scream It Out, love it. That gets your attention right away.
Yep. Yeah, it's not intentionally, I guess, but I think our MO is kind of starting to mold into we don't really go after any one genre. We don't, we're not trying to fit into a mold of any kind. We're just we get an idea for a song and we like it, so we run with it. So yeah, at least on Between the Lines, we've got the heavier hitters like Scream It Out, Between the Lines, the title track, and then we went with something like Bad Medicine as one of the singles, which is more of this punky vibe, and it's not quite this heavy rock sound, that you get on some of the other tracks. So we definitely have some fun doing things that way, and I don't think we're going to conform, I guess might be the right word, to saying we're hard rock or we want to be heavy rock or we like the punky side. No, we like all of it and we just do all of it. So anytime you see a Hearts and Hand Grenades album come out, you can expect there's going to be at least something weird somewhere in that album, and it's it's really fun for us, and we hope it's just as fun for the listeners as well.
Yeah, I agree. Let the listener figure out, whether they want to tie it into a different band or whatever, a different genre. But
Yep.
it's really good. Tell me about some of the tracks on the song, especially "Beautiful Pain." What's going on in your life when you're thinking about that? Just you make a mistake, you embrace it and move on with your life. Tell me about the track.
Yeah, I mean, that basically sums it up. It's about owning your past mistakes. Not so much having to maybe forgive yourself or someone else, but more learning how to live with it. And it's something that I think is relatable. That at some point in everybody's life, you probably experienced something like that. So I really liked the sound on that song, Kenny's guitar work. So that song basically started because Kenny was just doodling around. We were wrapping up a rehearsal one day, and he was just playing around with the intro riff that you hear on the track. And right before I put my bass down, I think I just picked it back up and my head went up and I was like, keep doing that. He's like, this is a song right there. And it was like, my face just lit up. I was like, but it was one of those moments, and a sound that serene, I guess, just fits so well, I think, with that message of, learning to live with yourself, living with your mistakes and moving forward. It was just like a match made in heaven.
Is that typically how the writing process goes between you and Mike and everybody else? It's kind of a collaborative effort. Somebody's got an idea, you bounce it around and twist and turn it until you make it your own.
Mike, you go ahead and answer that one.
Yeah, I usually it'll start with a guitar riff of some sort and just doodling around with it, and Steph will take a listen and be like, yeah, that's really cool, or that's terrible, or whatever. And then after we figure out kind of like the different parts with the guitar work and the rhythm section and that, then we'll add the bass to it and get kind of like a general feel of the song. Then once we have that down, Steph will usually add some lyrics to it, and then we'll call Kenny in and say, hey man, let's get some melodies and lead lines and whatnot added in here, and the last piece always to come in as the drums. And then we just kind of put it together. We did do a few songs in a reverse order, and where Steph's bass line was first. And that was extremely difficult for a guitar player.
I thought it was great.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to play over this, man? It's just a bass line,
Yep.
So, yeah, it was difficult starting a song, in the backwards order like that, and trying to figure. I think "Scream It Out" was that song. Am I right? Maybe I don't remember. But it was extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
We're talking with Hearts and Hand Grenades. One of the other tracks, I think, and they're all really, really good. This album is fantastic. I encourage people to check it out. And one of the songs I really like is it does have, to me, a little bit of a Iron Maiden sound. That's Tragedy. I don't know if it's just because of the beats that go with that song, but I love it. I don't know if that was kind of sort of in your head when you're doing it, but
the gallop. Yeah, I mean, I don't think
a little gallop to it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we ever intentionally, come up with a song or a sound based on, oh, hey, we want to get an Iron Maiden feel or like a Metallica feel. Like, no, we don't do that. But I mean, to think that you don't subconsciously maybe draw influence from music that you grew up with or that you liked, that could happen. Tragedy was one of those songs, though, that I think was more. Did I push that one, Mike? I think that was probably me. Because I like those weird, I don't know, polka beat stuff. It's different, and it's not what you hear every day. So I kind of ran with that, and it, sort of, I don't want to say pushed it on the rest of the band, but I sort of said, guys, like, trust me, this is going to be good. Like, this is the idea that I have. I had that the distorted bass fuzz walk down part that I just wanted to do. It's something I was just playing around with, and I was like, no, we're making this work. This is happening. And that's kind of how Tragedy came about. So it's got that bouncy, gallopy feel to it. So I can totally see where you're coming from, for sure. But no, it wasn't intentionally influenced in any way by those guys.
Well, tell me about it. We're going to play it here in just a second. I know you guys are busy doing a million things, and we'll ask more about your tour and things like your tour dates and things in just a second. But tell me about the first release. And it does have a little bit of a punk vibe to it in Bad Medicine. Tell me about the track.
Yeah, it's one of those songs that it's just moving. You know, it's a bouncy song. I think it's catchy. It's got, you know, the catchy Bad Medicine chorus over and over again. But that's another song where it's just about, you know, things don't always go right, and how you react to them or how you respond to them is what's important. You know, so even like the opening line, I found myself awake again, denied the right to sleep. You know, that's everybody deals with that, you know. And then what happens when you're laying there in bed and you can't sleep? You start going, you know, you're thinking about everything, things that are maybe pertinent and important, and then you're thinking about things as stupid as like, what's the thread count of my pillowcase, you know. But it's one of those things where life's not always going to go your way, you know, and you just trollop through it, basically.
Well, we'll play it here in just a second. But what's up for the band then in 2022? You got tour dates. What's happening here as we get to the spring and the summer?
Go for it, Mikey.
Yeah, so we have a tour that's being worked on currently for October. It's actually in the United Kingdom. We're going to be doing a 2-week stint over there, and hopefully that, you know, that comes to pass and works out well. So we're in the process of building that one up right now. We do have a couple festivals that we're going to be involved in this summer as well, in Michigan, Farland, Michigan, and near the end of August. It's the Rock for Vets festival, and you know, there's a lineup of some incredible bands on that one, you know, including like Saving Abel and Saliva, and you know, so some, you know, amongst a few of the other ones. But yeah, it's going to be a great festival there. And then we're also involved in the Central Florida Metal Fest in September. And that'll be in Orlando, Florida. So, you know, on top of all that stuff, we're you know, we're looking at, you know, doing another U.S. tour this year. These things are still in the works. Everything with the whole COVID thing was ruining just everything for us with these two albums going out and not even being able to really promote them properly. You know, so hopefully we'll be able to string something together here with all the mandates slowly starting to be lifted now, and, you know, playing in front of a group of people wearing masks, not allowed to stand up and sit 6 feet apart. And it's just terrible.
Yeah.
So
it was frustrating.
Well said. Yeah. Hopefully we can get down that road where we get some normalcy and get those connections with bands and other people that like live music. So thank you guys so much. People can find out more. I mean, you're all over social media and your own website. You can give out that if you want to right now. That'd be great.
Sure. heartsandhandgrenades.com is the website. For that one, we do have the ticket link up there for the Rock for Vets in Michigan. So if you're out there and you want to come to Michigan, let's do it. We've got everything else on the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can look us up on Instagram and Twitter with HAH Grenades as the tag. But yeah, anywhere you can find us, we will be there.
Let's fire this up. Hearts and Hand Grenades and Bad Medicine and Rock 95.